Why would you even think about coming out here with no shoes on in this kind of weather, especially in the snow in the northern Atlantic in January in Nova Scotia? Are you out of your mind?
This is what I do, man. This is the way I live my life. This is called acclimatization. I love your boots, but I don't need your boots, and I prove that with my lifestyle. Let me give you a foot physiology 101. If I take a sweaty foot and stuff it into a boot, and I lace it up too tight to impede the circulatory system, and I crush my insulation by standing on it, I'm That's why most people have frost nip or frostbite to their toes.
Cody's practice may have merit. A scientific study compared the feet of modern humans to those of 2,000-year-old skeletons and concluded that people had healthier feet before shoes were invented.
But for the normal person, it's insane.
Correct.
I mean, we got to get that straight now.
I do not recommend that people do what I do. I don't feel I need to prove myself to Dave. I just need to follow my heart and do what I do. If it works, you know? If it doesn't work, I'll change.
Cody explained his mumbo-jumbo and science to me as far as why he doesn't wear shoes, and I'm still not buying into it, but he's lasted out the day so far, so we'll see how he works out.
I want to revamp this shelter using basic physics and make it 10 times more efficient. If I can make this shelter 75, 80 degrees and use 1/10 of the wood, that's a huge survival savings. So I'm gonna take that plastic that I got from the boat and try to make a bubble like a greenhouse here. The long-wave radiation from the fire will go through the plastic and heat up the inside of this lean-to. And as I do that, I'll have a space blanket, that Mylar shiny blanket on the underside of this, which will reflect the long-wave radiation onto us, and it'll be trapped within a bubble of plastic.
Developed by NASA, aluminized mylar reflects up to 97% of solar radiation. It's used to protect the International Space Station from the sun.
I need to somehow figure out how to put a space blanket behind me, and I'm not sure how to do that. I know what I want to do, I just don't know how to do it yet.
The improved shelter will use less firewood and stay warmer, if it works.
And even opening up this damn space blanket, it's like, I mean, where do they hire these people to fold this thing? I mean, look at how many folds are in this thing. Oh, what am I gonna do?
How you been, man?
Been doing? What you got in the bag? Where'd you get the bag?
Got the bag off of the boat there. I cut the ballast off the bottom, put some ice in there.
Sweet.
Talk to me about this shelter, man. I mean, you got a Lakota Sweat Lodge, bush hippie party house going on in here. Explain this to me.
It's a fun house that's gonna use like maybe 1/8 of the wood.
It is what it is, man. I mean, I don't understand why anybody would drape plastic over their shelter in front of their fire. You know, if your fire gets too big, obviously it's gonna melt that thing away. It's just not the way that I'm used to doing things. You've got to come all the way out of that shelter now to put wood on the fire.
Right.
So is that a shift-to-shift shelter? Or two people gonna snooze in there and one guy's just gonna have to get up?
No, both. And you're gonna be toasty in there, okay? I don't know if you quite read between the lines about what I really did. There was some hardcore physics that were going on there. I'll see you in a bit then.
I'd offer you my pants and boots, but I know you'd turn it down.
I'm gonna turn it down, yeah, you know that, okay. I'm gonna liberate Dave's mind tonight. When he goes in that shelter, I'm gonna put too much wood on it, and I'm gonna burn his shorts off his body. I mean, it's snowing now. I wonder if it's gonna snow all night.
Been a long day. I'm about wore out. How about you?
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm way excited to check out the super shelter because I know I'm gonna be cozy, comfy, use very minimal wood, dry some of this stuff out, and I won't even have to snuggle with Dave tonight. So I'm sure he'll be happy about that.
So what do you think? How much more wood's it gonna take to get that shelter warmed up?
It's warm, man. You'll be comfortable, Dave, or your money back.
Holy cow. Oh, it's toasty in here.
I can't even get close to that.
This thing's like a sweat lodge, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Explain this shelter to me.
What's happening now with the fire is that long-wave radiation is coming through the plastic, and it's being reflected from this mylar blanket onto where we are right now, and it's being trapped. So essentially we're in a greenhouse trapping that long-wave radiation, but it's bumping it up because it's being reflected back down to where we are.
The shelter reaches a comfortable 70 degrees, despite 31-degree temperatures outside.
I gotta say, I'm more than impressed, Cody. This is probably the warmest winter shelter I've ever been in my life.
It's physics.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave. Night, John boy.
Night.
That was the call of the wild for you.
When I'm killing an animal, my first priority is a clean, humane kill. One shot, blunt force trauma, behind the neck, crack the spine, usually kills him immediately. And then I'm gonna go in, cut the animal's head off to make sure he doesn't suffer at all. And that's my only goal when it comes to killing an animal. Hopefully, Cody's out here lighting our signal fire. When he gets back, I'll have a hot meal waiting on him, and it means everything to our morale. There are two reasons I'm glad you're back.
What's the second one?
The first one's obvious, right?
What?
The fire sucking wind because we were gone too long, and
Yeah.
you have fire material.
Yeah.
The second one is I have some meat.
What did you get?
Porcupine.
You're kidding me.
Come check it out.
How in the hell did you do that?
Paddle.
Wow.
Caught him in an opening.
Oh, that's
All
great.
right, man. Now we got some meat, we got some protein, we got some fat. We're good.
That's great. Congratulations, Dave.
Thanks, man.
Let's cook it.
I saved you half the heart.
Half the heart? Yeah. Well, you probably ate it raw, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Hell no. I'm gonna cook mine.
Okay, man.
It smells really good, Dave. Really good.
As long as it tastes better than the clams I had last night, I'll be happy.
I think that's a given.
I'm gonna consider that you like your heart well done.
I do like a well-done heart.
Looks like it's just about cooked.
Thank you. That's quite an honor. Porcupine heart. You never kill something and chuck it and just eat the meat. You eat the meat, you eat the fat, you eat whatever organs you can. You save the entrails for bait, the bones for tools. That's intense, man. Thanks for getting us. Nothing goes to waste on that animal. That's the right, responsible, sane way, in my opinion, to kill something. You honor it and you use it.
I've seen plenty of tracks. There's some stuff out here.
Dave's survival strategy stands in opposition to Cody's gatherer philosophy.
I hunt all seasons, I hunt all types of game. I hunt with all types of weapons, from primitive weapons to modern weapons to homemade fashioned weapons. I have to do what I have to do to fight Mother Nature because Mother Nature's unforgiving. She doesn't let you survive. If you just laid here half naked like Cody does, you don't survive.
Burning through calories to track game is a gamble. If it takes more energy to find food than it provides, it's a losing one.
Okay, now we got a set of tracks right here. We know what animals are in this area. There's probably porcupines, we know there's squirrels. So we can, by process of elimination, we can tell these are small tracks. Most likely this is a squirrel. But the good thing about this is it's telling us there's small game in this area. I want to do some trapping. I want to find something to bring back to the table for Cody. Okay, this is a good spot right here for our deadfall. I can see some tracks back in here. I know that there's squirrel in here, I know there's rabbits, I know there's raccoon in here. You know, this is a real simplistic trap. I have these nasty old clams in my back pocket. We'll just break that nasty thing up and put them on the end of this skewer for bait. Oh yeah, put my bait stick in here, back my deadfall up in there.
A deadfall trap consists of a heavy log and a baited trigger.
The idea is to get that thing just barely pivoting on this trap.
The log needs to be 5 times the weight of the prey to work.
So all he has to do is move it. It's not gonna kill a 20-pound raccoon, but it will kill a small weasel, a marten, a squirrel, something like that that comes in here just nibbling around. It's winter. The animals right now are scavenging for food everywhere. I gotta set at least 6 to 8 more if it's gonna produce anything for us in the next few days for meat. How you doing this morning?
Oh, a bit whipped.
You know, food's food in a survival situation, but I've got to get some four-legged furry critters, man. So I'm gonna go out and scout around, do some hunting.
Right.
Is there any way that you could get that signal fire lit?
Yeah, I'll light it.
I'll get my stuff together and I'm gonna head out in just a second.
Okay.
Cody's out there hunting periwinkles and snails and stuff. I want to bring back some big meat sustenance for some fat and some protein. Okay, look up here now. This is a sure sign that a porcupine's been in this area. This tree's been ringed out at the top. Porcupine love to eat pine bark in the wintertime. They feed on that stuff voraciously.
Porcupines are slow-moving animals, but because they spend much of their time in trees, they are difficult to catch.
Okay, this is bad. It is bleeding some sap, so it hasn't been long ago. Problem is, it snowed so much right here, tracks are covered. So we're just gonna have to move on, see if we can find some true tracks. Porcupines ravages that one over there, heavy duty. I can stick him with this point, but he's not gonna die immediately that way. Not a porcupine because they're too thick-skinned. They got too much hair. The best thing I can do is just a blunt force trauma. And if I can catch him on the ground, one swift crack behind the neck will kill him instantly. And that's the most humane way to do it. If there's small game I'm tracking, I like to get as close to the ground as I can get because on a flat level, it's easier to see movement. I just saw a porcupine run through here. I'm pretty sure it was a porcupine. When I'm killing an animal, my first priority is a clean, humane kill. One shot, blunt force trauma, behind the neck, crack the spine, usually kills him immediately. And then I'm gonna go in, cut the animal's head off to make sure he doesn't suffer at all. And that's my only goal when it comes to killing an animal. Hopefully, Cody's out here lighting our signal fire, and when he gets back, I'll have a hot meal waiting on him, and it means everything to our morale.
After food, water, and shelter, the ultimate survival priority is an escape route.
I'm ready to go to light a signal fire. So this is the only fire we have on the island, so I'm transferring the fire by lighting this cattail head. Essentially, this is compressed fuel. This pipe might burn for hour and 15 minutes in a windless condition. The same amount of fuel, if I busted up the cattail, would burn within seconds. So because the oxygen is limited, it burns slow, like a punk. Just like this fire has cooked clams and provided warmth for us and melted snow for water, it's now gonna signal for rescue.
There's a little bit of concern in my mind right now as far as, you know, all the prickles on this dude. I'm gonna try to avoid the back and just cut it right up the front. I'm trying to stay just underneath the skin with this. I don't want to break that into that gut cavity, because if I end up splitting the gut at all, it can taint the meat, and I don't want that.
E. coli bacteria, which lives in the intestines of all warm-blooded animals, can cause serious, even fatal food poisoning.
See that hole right there? That's gonna lead to the gut cavity. That's what I was looking for. This is a jewel right here. That is the heart of that dude right there. Just like your heart, just like my heart. This is where that animal's spirit lives. That's the real deal. Connection with the animal.
Inuit cultures rely on organ meats, which are much higher in vital nutrients, to survive in Arctic climates that lack fruits and vegetables.
Got some thick hide and a lot of fat on them. You can actually burn that fat, just like a fat lamp. Like with an oyster shell, you can fill that with tallow, make yourself like a seaweed or an old man's beard, piece of cordage for a wick and lay that in there, light it on fire, and it would burn for maybe 2 hours.
Animal fat can also be used for waterproofing or as a lubricant, but it's put to the best use when it's ingested.
Animal fat is what you have to have. If you don't have fat, sooner or later, you will die. There's a lot of meat on here, which means a lot of calories, a lot of fat, a lot of protein, and a happy hippie when he comes back.
Dave Canterbury, an 8-year Army veteran and Special Response Team instructor, has been in the jungle before, but never unequipped and without support.
Most of the time that I've spent in the jungles thus far has been in Central America when I was in the military. Everything out here is against you as far as Mother Nature goes, and you have to combat that all the time with what you have in your head.
His partner, Cody Lundin, has been a survivalist for decades, teaching students how to stay alive by adapting to their surroundings. But conquering this extreme terrain will test even his arsenal of survival skills.
We have a serious challenge ahead of us. You know, with the boom of ecotourism, there's a bunch of trippy-dippy hippies out here now with their backpacks. So with that kind of tree-hugging mentality comes the person out here with jacked for knowledge and less in their backpack, and that's a setup for disaster.
All Cody and Dave have are a couple of cutting tools and a few random supplies that a tourist might have in their backpack. A camera, a roll of condoms.
Hey.
Who the hell was this day hiker?
I have no clue. Pretty good resource, though, actually. A lot of things you can do with a condom.
We could hold water with that if we needed to.
And a pack of smokes.
'Cause everything's here.
Yeah, we're good.
For our little jungle trip.
Okay, well.
Their first step, choosing a direction.
I want to go down.
We go down, yeah.
Water's going to go to the low spot. Maybe we can follow the river to the village, and I don't know if that's going to cut it out here. But this sure doesn't cut it here because I can't see anything.
Yeah, I agree.
In any survival situation, people can panic. You're going to want to run around like a chicken with your head cut off. But in a jungle environment where it's so thick, I'd want to keep working down to find water.
Rain travels downhill, the water's going to be downhill. Go downhill as far as you can till you can find a river.
A river is practically a roadmap to civilization. But in this harsh environment, finding one could take hours of trekking.
Ow.
Watch this log, Cody.
Yep.
And Cody doesn't wear shoes.
Cody worries me with the bare feet in a jungle environment. That hippie attitude just wears me out.
People think I'm an idiot by going barefoot. A little bit insane, a little bit half off, but I've been going barefoot for over 20 years.
Going barefoot is part of his indigenous survival strategy.
Walking barefoot out here is not comfortable, but frankly, it's what most of the world population did and still does.
The Lao people may have gone barefoot for centuries, but it's Cody's first time in this jungle.
What I'm worried about out here are mostly mechanical injury, like the bamboo that all of a sudden goes through my foot.
Getting injured in this scenario is a constant threat to survival. Here, if you can't walk, you can't walk out.
In this terrain, it's incredibly rough. You know, there's the steep angle. Some of the pitches have to be more than 80 degrees. They're damn near vertical. Nothing like trying to do this being peppered with biting ants. Yeah. You okay?
The only way to make headway in thick jungle is to literally carve your own path.
When you're bushwhacking, you have to stay down low. You're not really trying to cut everything down. You're just trying to move it out of your way so that you can see what's going on. The lower you stay to the ground and the more noise you make, the less chance you're gonna have of running into reptiles out here.
It's starting to open up a little bit.
I think I hear some water over here, man. Off to the right. Oh yeah, we got water, Cody.
Oh, nice.
We got water. Look at this, brother.
Water may be the most valued resource when hiking through the humid jungle,
Man.
where the body can lose 2 quarts in just an hour.
Water is obviously the biggest factor out here. It's so humid and yet it's so hot that you can dehydrate out here quickly.
But drinking unfiltered river water can be just as dangerous as dehydration.
When do you think, man? I'm thinking maybe we take a couple of those cigarette filters and I can drink some of this water. I mean, it's not gonna be the safest thing in the world. It's not something I would recommend that everybody do, you know, but...
You're gonna trust that cigarette filter with this water?
I'm gonna trust it enough to drink a small amount of it.
Well, you know, it's not the stuff you can see that gets you sick, man.
I understand that. I'm not gonna drink a gallon.
Yeah, but Dave, if you take the hit, I take the hit. You know how that works. It looks clean, but we're not talking about looks because the pathogens that get you sick are teensy tiny little small things that can't be seen with the naked eye.
I'm gonna go over here and work on this filter. You check out what's right around here. But let me have that pack so I can take those filters with me.
Using a cigarette filter to drink unsanitized water is a risk, one that Cody's not willing to take.
Oh, look at this. Check this out.
But he's got an alternative way to deal with dehydration.
This is the Lao red ant. This is its nest. What the indigenous people here did, they took these ants, they rubbed them, and they used them as a smelling salt. And if they were feeling a little bit woozy or dehydrated, whew, that has a pretty intense smell. It's almost like a super shot of vinegar potato chips, definitely. And of course, they're edible too. You don't need to cook them. And they have that kind of vinegary taste. Whoa. And they're freaking out now. Ow! They do bite, and they will sting, so you gotta kind of get them before they get you, so to speak. Look at them jump and track my finger. They're wondering who the big hippie is that just ripped up their home, which they'll mend. But at a certain time of year, this will be full of eggs, and they can be eaten raw or literally scrambled, like scrambled eggs. So I'll leave the Lao red ants alone, let them get back to their thing, because I got stuff to do.
Stuff up here, man, this is a form of river cane. It's very similar to bamboo. So if I cut this off between here, then I have a hollow tube. In effect, I have a drinking straw. This kind of stuff makes excellent spears for fishing. It makes great shafts for arrows and things like that as well. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm gonna take a couple of these cigarette filters off of here, and I'm just gonna break the whole filter off and leave the paper on it. But I'm gonna save this. I don't wanna throw this away because we can use this tobacco for an antiseptic. If you get a bug bite or something like that, you can put this on any kind of a wound or cut, and it'll work real well for that. And now I'm gonna put them in there back to back, just like that. I'm gonna take this down, get myself a drink.
There's 4 main families of waterborne pathogens that make you want to barf up a lung and fill your pants with crap. Viruses, protozoa, bacteria, and parasites, and they are not disinfected or killed from that cigarette lazy-ass butt filter.
Not bad, we'll see. So I wouldn't recommend it to the world or anything, but if I don't get sick in 20 minutes, then we'll know, right?
Well,
or an hour or two
or
tonight.
Or a few days.
Or,
well,
yeah, well,
just,
hopefully we'll be out of here by then, right?
Yeah.
Dysentery symptoms, vomiting, diarrhea, and a fever can take up to 3 days to develop. Without immediate medical care, they can also be fatal.
What do you think?
But we're losing light.
Yeah, we're gonna run out of
we need
daylight.
to prioritize, and let's find a safe place.
Well, if we can make a fire, we can boil it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
For a person lost in the jungle, a river may be the fastest way out, but it also may be the most dangerous one.
I'm from canyon country, man, and I know it can be a.
Well, I come from river country, so we'll figure it out between the two of us one way or the other. But I think that's the better gamble, don't you?
I'm gonna acquiesce to whatever he says on this. I just don't want to die. Well, no better time like the present. Let's get on this raft thing then.
All right, man.
Bamboo combs are not only watertight, they're also full of air.
This looks like a pretty good spot right here.
But cutting them down can be a painful task.
Cutting through this stuff is just like trying to cut through barbed wire. Everything that you touch spikes you and tears you up. It'll eat you alive. Cody would not want to be walking around in this with his bare feet.
Ouch. Gathering vines with my body. If you believe in hell, that's where you go. You go to gather vines in the jungle.
Bamboo rafts have been common in Southeast Asia for centuries, but making one is a first for Cody and Dave.
One trip down, probably 15 to go.
It's like walking through a piece of Velcro. Ouch.
I'll try to get this bamboo down into the water. Then I'm gonna get some of this cordage that Cody brought down here and tie it off, make that a pontoon. Plan is to make 2 of those to start off with. If this cordage is wet, it's gonna be a lot better for us because it's gonna bind better. The tighter we can get it, the better off we're gonna be, especially if we hit any of them rapids, because they'll tear it apart. I think we need a cross member on here to set the deck up off of this, just for stability's sake. The wider this boat is, the harder it's going to be to negotiate small rapids.
Okay.
The skinnier it is, the easier it's going to be.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, go. My concerns are that it's a homemade raft. And my concerns are that I don't know this river. Nice. You know, here we are, Gilligan and the skipper, and we don't know what's around the corner. A little bit more. There.
Okay. I'm going to try to make the blade out of this bigger piece here. A river like this is going to have some rapids on it somewhere, and that's going to be a big concern for anyone who's on a raft, because if it's not bound together tight enough and it goes through those rapids, it could shake apart. Cody, I think we're about ready to rock and roll.
Ride the pony.
Laos has nearly 3,000 miles of unpredictable rivers, notorious for their challenging rapids.
Nice lazy ride down the river, huh?
Yeah, this beats jungle whacking. Well, my side of the raft's good. How's your side of the raft?
My side of the raft's looking pretty good, man.
What we don't have is knowledge of what's around that bend up there, you know? At least I don't. Well, that sounds big, man.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a rapid up there. I mean, that's a good size one too.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go left, man.
Okay.
Directing a raft to the deepest part of a river may prevent it from breaking apart.
Heads up, gonna hit the rock.
Ditching it is a last resort.
We need to go that left. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Ah!
In Laos, going up against treacherous and unfamiliar rapids could be a recipe for disaster.
Hold on.
An unstable bamboo raft is a constant threat of splitting apart on the river's boulders.
Can you get it back? He's coming back. It's just almost unbelievable. I'm coming down.
Good?
Cowboy. Awesome, Dave. Kick ass.
No problem, man. It's what we gotta do, right? Work together. I take responsibility for my partner, and if he gets hurt, then I'm going to feel a lot worse than if I get hurt. So if there's a risk that has to be taken, I would just as soon take it.
How are you doing?
If I have to get wet again, it's probably not going to be fun. Cody, you want a piece of this dried meat, man?
You bet.
Here, man. Hang it.
Oh, this is roughing it.
We got plenty of it in here. Too bad you're afraid of this jungle water, baby. It's pretty good.
I'll carry you when you have dysentery.
I don't know. I haven't got sick on it yet. I'm gonna keep drinking it sparingly, of course. I'm not chugging it down a gallon at a time, but I'm taking my chances. There's no doubt about that. Cody's not drinking the jungle water because he doesn't take some of the chances that I take, and I may be the one that pays the price.
If Dave goes down with some sort of diarrhea or dysentery, it's game over. What I could probably do is he could lay on the raft and I just do it, you know, one man down the river. At least we're still moving.
There's another curve coming up down here. So let's head over that way. The next set of rapids could be worse than the last one. Could destroy the raft. I mean, anything could happen from here.
I got some busted bamboo up here.
Tell you what, Cody, I see another swell coming up.
It sounds big. Which direction?
Let's get over to the left while we can. I'll back paddle and we'll catch that conveyor going over.
The best way to survive a river rapid is by hitting it straight on.
My oar's kind of falling apart here.
I know we're having a hard time navigating this boat.
Or risk getting sucked under by the force of crashing water.
All right, let's go. You're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. You're the line, you got it. Woo! All right, buddy. You got it.
That was intense, man.
Yeah, it was heavy duty, man.
I'm wet, our stuff is wet, and it's approaching night. Let's continue on for maybe another half an hour or so and see if this opens up to some place that's more hospitable.